to the Alternative Voice podcast, the podcast where we talk all things alternative provision. Today we are joined by Emma Shiers, who is one of the founding directors of Chilled. Welcome, Emma. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for having me.
So today we're going to talk all about your journey in alternative provision and the Chilled journey. So how far are you in now? It's just over a year, isn't it?
It has been it's been over a year of delivery. It's probably been 3 or 4 years in planning and pushing the other Emma.
Yeah.
To actually get involved. But
I remember you saying before about it being a case of you had this idea and you wanted to do it, and it was like, okay, come on, let's do it. So it took about 3 or 4 years to get going.
It has. Emma and I were living parallel lives really with our children at the same school, but we didn't know each other. I knew of her because of her crazy hair on Facebook. And she would put things and I would message her and say, we need to start an alternative provision. We need to start something. She'd be, oh, no, we can't. I think I just wore her down in the end.
You will work with me.
And that's what it was. And then we started looking into it and actually thinking about what we'd like for our children. And then started to develop Chilled. And then Emma got really quite into it. And she's very, very good at organisation.
She is.
And really good at paperwork, as you know, whereas I'm more fliffy and fluffy and off doing all the
and podcasting.
Yeah, I'm the end of it like, oh, let's try this, let's do that.
Yeah.
So I knew we'd work really well together.
That's really good. It is definitely a good team, and like you've grown as a team as well, haven't you? So
we have.
How many members of staff have you currently got?
We've now got 5 staff with us.
So good.
And we're just going to actually recruit for another 2.
Amazing.
2 full-timers. So we're quite
the growth, I love it. So I remember the first time where I met you and the other Emma, and it was like, okay, so we're very, very new. We've just set up. Like, can you just give us some help and advice on a few things?
Yeah.
And now, like, I met with Emma just a few weeks ago, and I was like, seeing like where you've come from to where you are now is insane, isn't it? And there's so many amazing stories of the young people that you've been supporting. So what was it, obviously? Do both of your children access alternative provision, or did they? Is that what made you think, actually?
Well, no. So both my children have autism. And while my eldest was high functioning, he was kind of able to manage mainstream with a bit of support from me and that. But my youngest had numerous diagnoses and just struggled with school in every aspect. From, I literally used to drag him kicking and screaming.
It's so hard, isn't it? Because it's so hard for you as a parent.
Oh, it was awful. I had to give up my career and everything, really.
Yeah.
But I was determined that I wasn't going to homeschool because I'm not a teacher. And I knew while he was at school, the responsibility to provide that education would remain schools.
Yeah.
And if I took him out, I would get no help.
That's the thing. There's so many families at the moment that are at crisis point and feel that they have no other option other than to home educate. But there's not always that understanding there that as soon as that you deregister, there's no support.
Exactly.
And that's a huge responsibility for parents on top of everything else to then be responsible for their education as well.
Well, it was. And I mean, I received a lot of judgment for dragging him to school because I literally would leave him screaming, and I received a lot of judgment from other parents.
I was going to say, where did the judgment come from? Was it the parents?
It was the parents.
It's so hard.
It was, why would you do that to your child? You're not a good mum. But I just knew that if I kept persevering, because I believe in education as well.
Yeah.
If I kept persevering, that we would have a positive outcome for him, which we did get. And he went to a specialist school, which couldn't meet need either. So
that's also the thing as well, isn't it? So like one of the things that I say about alternative provision is we have so many young people that can't access mainstream school, but then actually, or they do and they can't meet need. And then it could be a case of a young person waiting for a specialist placement and there's no capacity, or again, they can't meet need.
Yeah.
And you have all these consults going on and it's like, no, unfortunately, you can't meet need. But then the young people go to alternative provision, unregistered, and miraculously, guess what they're doing? They're meeting need.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
But I think within special schools and within mainstream schools, there is still a structure that needs to be adhered to for Ofsted.
Yeah.
And Ofsted is not geared for young people who don't fit within that structure.
Absolutely.
And it's changing that structure. So Emma and I started of actually how are we going to do this? And I think Chilled was like, because we're chilled, because we've had to be. And we decided that if we could develop an alternative provision that could meet my son's need, we cracked it.
Yeah.
He's now registered with us, and he has done Japanese. He's going to be learning how to make swords. He goes to hoop every week.
Yeah, so I've seen this, and Emma was telling me, like you've booked to go to like a blacksmith experience, haven't you? That's incredible, isn't it?
It is phenomenal. So he was a child that didn't leave the house without me, and I mean he hadn't for his whole life, so for like 14 years. And I handpicked a mentor for him, so I knew the type of personality he would like. And then he left the house without me for the first time, and I was like,
feel?
Could go. Yeah. So we knew we'd cracked it with lots of other young people by designing it on our own children, really. And then so to then succeed with my child, and now with Emma's, it really does feel like we've succeeded and are able to actually say to parents, we know you're worried, we know you're scared about their future. We are for our own children. So let's work together to get our young people to a point where actually they will put something back. Because I think there's this misconception that young people who need additional support aren't intelligent, aren't clever, where, my word, they are so clever, it's unreal. Yeah. You know, beyond anything you could really imagine.
How has it been that your son's Japanese?
I know.
No, it doesn't happen overnight.
It's just phenomenal.
It's been quite a quick process that as well, isn't it? I know Emma was saying that. That's incredible.
But a lot of young people will research themselves on what they like. They already have this understanding. So then the next step is taking that and turning it into something that they can use as a qualification. And it may be something that's very short-lived, but that's the beauty of us. We can just go, okay, we've changed to something else. That's fine. Let's work on something.
And that's definitely like what your model is all about as well, isn't it? So you have created a model whereby the student is absolutely at the centre of everything. You've actually got a car donated.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Oh, that was crazy. So we had a neighbour who had a car that was just sitting on their drive for ages. Yeah. And we had a young.
Were you like,
it was kind of like that. And we had a young person who liked cars and mechanics, and I was like, oh, I wonder if. And we managed to convince him to donate this car.
Convince him, I love that.
So I kind of got that part right, Emma. We've got a car. Yeah. Rest of it is yours. So that's the detail part. So we got it moved over to Perkisan where we rent, and then Emma's partner is the mechanic, and he's doing things with it. I'm just gonna, because I don't know, I can't do this. This is an engine, and we've got a young person who loves the car. We got a second car, and he can take the engines out, and I don't do things with it that are just phenomenal. And then we've got another young person, and she's really interested in bikes, so we bought her a motorbike. Obviously she's not driving it, but it's hers, and she can take it apart and put it together. And the confidence, just everything that comes with that is just phenomenal. So we had young people who weren't engaging, the school couldn't get anything at all from them, that weren't leaving their bedrooms, that society had in a way written off that this was it. Yeah. And now we have a budding mechanic.
That's incredible. You must be so proud. But like of not only of yourselves for creating the opportunities, but proud of the young people as well, because like they do a lot of that hard work to be able to come out of the house, come out of the bedroom. Like they're doing all of that work as well.
Absolutely.
But you must have phenomenal mentors as well to be sort of really engaging the young people and making them feel safe enough to leave the home. How have you gone about that? Like creating like a good team of sort of qualified staff, or is it lived experience? Have they also been through similar experiences as well?
Initially, obviously, parents meeting me and Emma, so explaining our own experiences and being able to mirror what they're going through, what how they're feeling,
and really understand.
That's been key. And also when parents are telling us about their young person, we accept it. Yeah. And we're very much, well, you're the expert. not us. You know what works with your young person, so you tell us.
Yeah.
And if what we're doing isn't working or you don't feel it's appropriate, just tell us and we'll change it. There is no rigidity.
Yeah.
And so that first of all puts parents at ease, and then
that must be like a first of all in a lot of cases as well, because like schools don't often sort of take on board like parents know their children best.
no, they don't.
And that again may be because of that structure that they have to have in schools. But actually giving the parents or carers the opportunity to tell you everything that they know and what works for their child and what doesn't, and you then using that to sort of steer the direction of what you're then offering. It's so important, capturing that voice, yeah.
And it builds up a trust straight away with the parent, and then that goes back and is sort of reflected to their young person, and that immediately starts to develop a trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we just, our staff are just nice people. Mm-hmm. So when we're interviewing, we're really looking for people that we gel with. So we have young people on our interview panel straight away. That is what we do, so that they actually make that final decision of who we're recruiting.
Even that, how amazing is that the young people feel confident enough to be on the panel? That's amazing.
It's it's yeah, well, that's what we want. And they love it. They get a cup of coffee, they get their questions, they sit there with their pen, and they're writing away and they're asking questions. And they can then engage, and we then watch how people are responding, their eye contact, whether if our young person starts to lose interest, how they react to that. So we're watching and seeing what happens. And we know when we've scored a goal, because usually the young person and whoever we're interviewing end up talking for 15 minutes about something completely unrelated. And that's when we know. And then they will say at the end, well, I've scored them this much and this is because, and that's great. And then when we recruit that person, their voice is heard. We haven't just done it as a token. It's actually your voice is heard.
Yeah, that's really good. You also, because obviously your staff are like, it's outreach, isn't it? So they're mentors, and it's like an outreach model. I know that you go above and beyond to make sure that your team feel like a team. How do you do that? Can you talk to us a little bit about like the things that you do to bring them together?
We do. We have WhatsApp groups where we all chat, but they come and they support a youth club. So all of us together, sort of in a youth club. But we like to do. I'm a big one for any meetings. Let's have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Let's meet in a coffee shop. Let's have a bit of breakfast or something. So we tend to do that a lot. Yeah. And we have big get-togethers at Christmas and things. So there is a lot of where we all just come together and regularly to have a cup of coffee, have a chat.
You also encourage the rest of the team to do that regularly,
yes,
as well, don't you?
Absolutely.
So I know they, Emma was telling me the week that the rest of the team get the opportunity to do that. I think is it like once a month or something where they all come together and just have that time, but without like management there, so that they can just have that sort of debrief time with each other as well.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's really important as well, isn't it? Because like the world of AP it's very chaotic and it can just be a lot. There's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of safeguarding concerns, and it can feel a little heavy at times.
Yeah.
And if your staff are sort of it's an outreach model and they may feel very sort of like solo, I suppose, it is important to take those measures and just make sure that they feel supported and that there's a wider team there. So I feel like you do that really well.
Yeah, we do. And like I say, they're always meeting up, having meetings. I think there's a garden centre that they like to go and have some cake and coffee.
Nice.
And we're happy with that. We don't, there's just no issue. So they have that autonomy to just arrange these meetings and go off and decide what they want to. And we're quite happy. And I think one of the big things for me, so I've managed teams for a very long time, is giving people autonomy, allowing them to actually take their ideas and implement them. And if they go wrong, that's fine. We learn from it and then we'll improve. Yeah. So it's very much, I think, if you get a buy-in from people, you're more likely to succeed.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So you use lots of different sites, and I remember when we very first met, it was around you wanted to build a network of like different facilities that you could use, so that if a young person came to you and they had I don't know, a real interest in something different, you'd have the network there so you could start tapping into them. What sites do you use the most? Because I know you've mentioned Perky Sound.
So yes, so we use Perky Sound. We use the church on Camp Hill. Oh gosh, we use the Veterans Contact Point in town. We're looking at actually getting our own little unit in an industrial area. Gosh, where else do we use it?
How exciting is that? The growth is just
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
We use community centres around Nuneaton as well.
Yeah.
Use Hobbycraft.
Yeah.
It's coffee shop.
It's good though, isn't it? Because like as well, you do a lot in the Nuneaton area. Obviously, that's where you're based. So it's giving back to other organisations as well, and just sort of collaborating on things, which is really good. So Perky Sounds looks amazing. I've not actually been to visit yet. I'm definitely going to be going. But what was it about Perky Sounds that made you feel like that was like a good base for some of your students?
That was Emma. Emma had been there quite a few times.
Yeah.
And she took me up to have a look round, and I kind of really liked their sensory room. I spent ages trying to catch the fish on the floor. She knows me far too well. And then I got on really well with the owners and that. And then she showed me like the cabin area and what we could do, and took me into like the tunnel where they grow things, and I was like, oh, there's butterflies. She really knows how to just capture me.
Oh, there's butterflies and there's fish.
So, and that was that really. And then she was telling me what we could do, and I was just like, okay, let's do it. And we kind of have an agreement that there's certain things that Emma will plant a seed with me, and I'll be like, I don't know. And she knows that by planting that seed and then moving it slowly, that I'll just go, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Why don't we do that?
That's actually so funny though, isn't it? Because if you think back to when you first started 3 or 4 years ago, when that was you planting that seed and pushing a little bit and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and now the roles are reversed and Emma's doing it.
So you did it with like working with you. Yeah. I was like, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that. Yeah. I'm just going to see, and I'll just talk to Jane about this. Yeah. And then before I knew it, I was like, well, we're not paying regularly. We're not doing this. She'll go, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm glad we're doing that.
Yeah. And it's good because you guys have really engaged in everything that we've been doing. I've been engaging like regularly with Emma on like the quality assurance process, and you are going to be one of the first organisations going through our actual accreditation as well. So there's been a lot of work. Like Emma's been working really. I know, like obviously you'll be helping as well, but when I'm meeting with Emma, she showed me everything. You can see all of the work that's gone into that. So it's amazing, and I'm really excited that you will be like one of the first going through that. It's a brand new thing. It's, you know, the world of AP has been asking for a measure of quality for a really long time. So the fact that we've now got that accreditation is something special, and to have you guys involved in that from the get-go as well is really nice.
When Emma told me, I was pleased. I know Emma does a lot of work on that. We have very separate roles, but I think that's why it works, because she's very good at the detail part.
Like the compliance side of it is the part that a lot of people can't stand. Then it's just like, like policy is but yeah, no, it's working really well.
She does that really well. So that's kind of her forte, but I do all the extra.
Yeah.
I do things.
Yeah.
I do feel like that sometimes, but we've been talking to Alan Higgs lately to look at some funding.
Yes.
And we've recently got some funding to develop Perky Sound, so that's kind of my side. I'm the seller.
So it's good just mentioned funding stuff, because you are not for profit, aren't you?
No.
Yeah. So what made you make that decision when you set up?
Oh, I've worked in the voluntary sector for 26 years, so I've always...
26 years.
been about a week. So I've always very much believed in giving back.
Yeah.
And I come from a very poor background, really. And it was always a case of, if we do this, we either do it as a charity, or we put the money back into the kids, because it was not just about supporting young people on the alternative provision. It was actually, how are we going to support kids generally? How are we going to support parents generally? You know, we didn't want to be walking away with millions of pounds in our pockets and saying, well, we're all right, sorry about you. We really wanted that to be going back in so that the more people we could help.
And you can really see that even like the experiences that you're putting that money into for the young people. What kids do you know that are going on a blacksmith course? Like, it's incredible. You can really see that, and it just makes it so much easier. Like, being able to do that makes it easier to really tailor and get to exactly what it is that interests that young person. And ultimately then, like, the outcome of that is like so much greater, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And we work really well in partnership with other organisations as well. So that, so we give a lot, and it works.
Yeah,
I think that really resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, so changing the subject slightly, talk to me about the caravan.
Yeah, the caravan. So I actually told you about. I was thinking this was my plan. This is one of my many plans.
Okay.
And I thought, well, he can live in that in the garden.
Yeah.
And then Ben can have his room, and then he's got a bigger, room upstairs. And I mentioned it to him, thinking he'd really like that. No, I don't want to live in a caravan. So I thought about it. I thought, well, actually, how about not living in a caravan? That would probably cause issues.
Yeah.
But actually turning a caravan into his own sensory room, and he could work on it and make it how he wants. And I thought this was a fantastic idea.
I think it's amazing.
Emma thought it was a fantastic idea. Ben did not.
Oh, really?
So I was quite gutted, and so was his dad, because we were both having, I think Emma was as well, how amazing it would be,
And at this point, did you have the caravan already?
No,
oh,
no.
Okay.
We were gonna get one, and I planned a place and moved my fences, and we're all still trying to like poke it in, because I think in the long term he'd really like it.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
What an amazing project.
It would just be phenomenal.
Yeah.
It would be phenomenal. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to do it at Perky Sound. I think we're going to get a caravan and turn it into something at Perky Sound, and maybe try and get Ben to do it there.
Yeah.
But I then have a feeling I'm going to end up with a caravan.
Yeah. A sensory caravan.
A sensory caravan. I'll probably be in there.
Yeah.
With all the lights,
butterflies.
fishes everywhere. I think that's what Ben's worried about, that I'd be the one that'd be in there.
Yeah.
That's
hilarious. No, it would be a really good project though, and other students potentially could get involved in like the creation of it as well.
Yeah, it would be fantastic.
It would. So what do you think is the greatest thing that you are giving to families through the provision that you're providing? What do you think is the greatest impact that you're having?
Giving them hope. I think it's hope that actually, no, we haven't given up on their child.
Yeah.
It's that somebody does listen and care, but I think hope has to be, because to see parents' faces when we say, you get 100% attendance, or, yes, your child can build a car, or whatever they need to do, is just phenomenal to see. It's like parents like, I knew it. Why couldn't anybody else hear me?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest achievement I think we've done. We've given hope to families and hope to the kids.
And because you understand it from like your own experiences, if only somebody could have given you that hope, I think that's what makes it even more special as well, because you know exactly how they're feeling, like what they've gone through. So for you to be able to give that and make them have an opportunity that maybe wouldn't have been presented to them otherwise, that's really special.
Exactly. And I mean, Emma and I are still going through it all with our own children. They're only HCPs and schools and things, and sort of saying that to parents. We may be seen as professionals now, but we are still going through that journey.
Yeah.
So we're still doing it with them. So we're not forgetting either.
Yeah. You have a lot of contact with parents, don't you? Parents and carers, because you have like WhatsApp groups with every family, so that obviously there's constant updates and stuff, which that's really nice and really supportive as well. Because I think one of the things that we've found with working with families, because we have like a free helpline around AP for families, and I think one of the things that is really special about that contact that you have with them is just them knowing that there is somebody there. Like, actually, it can feel very alone, can't it? When families feel that they are at crisis point, or they just don't know how to navigate the next step in their child's journey, it can just feel very heavy. Whereas actually, if you've got other people, professionals or not, that have gone through that as well, or can give the advice, I just think it lightens the load a little bit. So that's really nice that you have that regular contact with parents.
Yeah, it's worked really well. We have the mentors on that chat as well, and possibly at school, depending, and we respond.
Yeah.
And so we see it, and it doesn't matter what time one of us will respond. And I'm just Emma too. I'm the one that usually gets involved if there's potentially an issue or something. So Emma will be, this relinquishes all the passports and various things.
Passports, by the way, are amazing.
Aren't they just?
Aren't they amazing? So when Emma showed me the other week, I was like, I love this.
It is amazing.
Very good. Yeah.
And that gets pinned on the WhatsApp group. So basically the passport is details about that young person.
Yeah.
And parents get access to that, we all get access, and they're updated regularly with new things.
Yeah.
So everybody can see at a glance what we're working towards, who that young person is, and what we're going to do. And I think parents like that, because again, it involves them in what we're doing.
It shows how much your team actually understand their child as well, because the information on there is very specific. So that it shows that you've taken the time to really get to know what works, what doesn't work. And you're constantly updating that as well. So say, for example, there's something on there that is currently not working, and then there's a change in that, then you would update that, and then obviously that's really shared with everybody. And that's really good practice, because you know that like young people are changing all the time, so it's really good to not just leave that as a document that was done at the beginning of the year and it's still the same. You know, it's important to have those updates. So what does the future look like for Chilled?
Well, I have told Emma that I want to take it to Australia, so I might have to go on a
I'm laughing because I don't even think you're joking.
3-month trip, and she said, well, can I come? And I was like, oh, okay.
I'll let you.
Okay, then we'll go, but we've got to go business minimum. No, I'm not joking either.
Why Australia?
Because I want to go on holiday there.
Oh.
If I just thought I'd try it, I might as well. Wherever I go, I always end up working anyway, so I might as well do that. And it's just one of my ideas, obviously. I'm always doing stuff like that. So I think we're looking at going nationally. I certainly think we could roll it out.
I agree. I think it's a very good model, and I don't think like you've mastered locally. I think it's very easy for you now to duplicate that model into different regions as well.
That's what we want to do, and I'm not sure how specifically we're going to do that. We've already started with Leicester slightly. So I think we just need to get in touch with their councils and become accredited with their councils and move it from there.
Provisions Plus can definitely help on that journey as well with like targeting different regions, because obviously we're national as well, so any help that we can offer with that, just let us know.
Oh, absolutely. So that's kind of, we do need to do that. And then I do think actually there's a practice that could go out globally. And you know, I've been going to Tunisia a lot lately and starting a business over there, which is non-related.
Of course you have.
That's non-related to this. But actually, going over to places like Tunisia, where you kind of expect, so in America they need APs, and actually it's autism and ADHD is getting recognised in other countries as well. And actually the struggles that young people are having in schools there due to it. So actually there's this kind of, well, maybe actually not just Australia, maybe we need to think about going into, you know, Africa and places as well, and starting to really take it out there and just develop the model accordingly. So watch this space. I think
exciting. Well, it's like, I think when I first met you, I was like, this is a really exciting part of the journey, because it's like really sort of shaping what you want the organisation to look like, and you know how are you going to achieve that impact. But now that you're at that stage where you're doing that and you're doing it really well, and now you're looking at, okay, how do we grow, and how do we now start sort of venturing out into different areas? How exciting is that part of the journey?
So it is, but it's scary, and I feel like I need to do that step now because it's been brought up. But there is a bit of is this going to happen naturally? And I think we're not even going to realise, like, we've managed to start going to Leicester without really realising that's happening. So I think it is just going to start very slowly, and as we go places, it's just going to
naturally
grow more and more. And I think things like doing this podcast is going to help. And then we've had a little video done that we're sending out.
Yeah. And you're also featured on the Akeley Roadshow as well, aren't you?
Yes.
So we're going to be spending the day, myself, Brian, and our production team are going to be spending the day with your team, meeting some of the young people, and seeing all of the activities that you've got going on as well. So that's super exciting.
It's going to be so good. So, and it would be lovely for it to, expand and get further. And to be honest, I mean, my eldest has said he wants to come and work for us as well.
That's so nice.
Because he's doing an apprenticeship in mechanical engineering at the minute. And he was like, when I finish, can I come and work for you and work with young people and teach them various bits? And
how nice is that?
I'm like, yeah, of course you can. And I think that's what's really nice as well. Our own children are recognising what we've achieved and what we are achieving, recognise that it's because of our experience with them, and that's enabled them to accept who they are. And that's then they're wanting to then bring their experiences back in and to help other people. So that's quite amazing as parents to think we're doing something that
it's kind of like a full circle moment, isn't it? Because it's like it's come from like you feeling that your children are not getting what they deserve from education, and now to go full circle for them, they're wanting to give back to other young people that are also experiencing challenges that they did. That's so special.
It really is. It is something that that I think Emma and I are making us think, wow, this is so brilliant.
Look how it's all worked out.
I know it is. It really it's and like you saying you have a pinch yourself moment. Emma and I have those moments as well. Where we look and we're like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? Is this what we've done? And we just sit there like, we have. And just going to professionals. I mean, I took Ben to camps to his psychiatrist, and she said, I've heard all about chilled. And I was like, wow, because she knows it all, because I've spoken to her about it for years and years. And she was just this big smile, and she was like, oh, I'm so pleased all the parents and professionals are talking about it. And even Ben sat there going, yeah, that was made after me. I could see it in his face. So I said to her, oh, please tell everyone that you know the young person that it was designed on. And I rang Emma, guess what? This is so brilliant. And she was so excited about that.
That is so lovely, because I think when you set up a business of any kind, I think it's always one of them, isn't it, that one, it's daunting, but two, you don't know if people are going to really understand what your vision is and what you're trying to achieve. And I think even myself, like setting up Provisions Plus, one of the most sort of heartwarming things was when people do get it and they do understand what you're trying to achieve and they actually want to be a part of that. It's special. So
it really is.
The fact that your people are understanding, and people that you've known for a long time as well, like from camps, are seeing it and they're understanding it and they're like, here for it. It's just so lovely.
It is. It's it's wonderful.
So you are going to be joining us at Altern Prestige, aren't you? The awards event.
Yes.
So super excited for that. That is obviously on the 3rd of July. So I believe that yourself and a couple of your team are going to be joining us for the evening, aren't you? So get your glad rags on, get ready for a night of celebrating.
Is it posh?
It's a black tie event, So
You see that? See
Is
that?
it posh?
I'm very into my posh thing. Emma's not so much. I think I have told her she has to come. But I'll certainly be there wearing something completely sparkly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is glitz and glam this year as well. So sparkly, you are
absolutely. I shall be this.
Yeah. So we look forward to you joining us for the evening. It's a really nice evening. So brings together the AV sector to really sort of celebrate what we've said about being transformative and just shining a light on all of the amazing work that everybody's doing. So we look forward to you joining us then. And I suppose thank you so much for just being a part of Provisions Plus Network with us anyway, trusting us to do the work with you that we do, and for joining us today on the podcast. I've really enjoyed
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for meeting with Emma and planting that seed.
Yeah. Not a problem. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I look forward to continue working closely with you both.
Me too. Thank you very much.